To which she would reply something, I don't know, like, I'm your parent or something. I'm just your mother. After that, I learned how to do almost the entire cast of the Metalocalypse TV show, including a fan favorite, Dr. Roxo, I do cocaine! Yeah! Thank you. That one was really painful the first time I tried it. I can also do Pickles the drummer. He's very much like a Boston accent, and I love using this voice when I'm playing Dark Souls. Because you'll just be just running around with your two swords because I'm suicidal in that game. And you see this boss who looks like, oh, this is big hunking monster over here. There's no way he's gonna be. Holy shit, he's so fast! I can do several of those, but that's about as much as I can fit into the time it takes to tell this story. So, high school, I got to use my voice a lot. I especially got to train it my junior and sophomore year because I was in choir, and that was when I learned how to project. Oh, sorry. So, yeah, choir, I didn't really like the class too much, but I was one of the few people in class who would pay attention. So I did learn to project and speak very loudly in a way that wouldn't hurt my voice too bad. It did take a while for me to get the hang of it, though. I haven't done that really much in a while, though, because, not really in high school, no need to. But my senior year of high school, I decided to try out theater again. Because there was a new teacher there, and the first time I tried it, I didn't really have a whole lot of fun. And even then, when I first started in theater, I was playing it safe, doing just, crew stuff. Like, me and a couple of buddies were doing, like, follow spot and, like, the soundboard. And then I finally got the balls to actually audition. The first major play, or I should say only because there was only one actual one that the others were just like class plays. But I auditioned for Puck for Midsummer Night's Dream. I did not get it, but what I got was even better. Nick Bottom. I don't know if anyone here has seen or knows A Midsummer Night's Dream or any of Shakespeare's work, but Nick Bottom, it has the opportunity to be the most eccentric character on stage, including Puck. So, using this fake British accent, which got progressively worse the more I started to yell, but that only added to the comedy. This story is about the audition. I got off track, I'm sorry. When I went to audition, my teacher had normally seen me as, like, I can get pretty excited, but 9 times out of 10 I stay pretty quiet. So she was just, I think she was just expecting, like, a good performance, but wasn't expecting me to be so loud. So, when I was performing one of the scenes where Puck is just, like, going nuts in front of Oberon, I am speaking so loudly that the people at the back of the auditorium in the booth can hear me. And this is a pretty large auditorium, mind you. But the first time I had auditioned for something, it was, second time. It was in the, for the class play in the actual classroom, which is like a door away from the auditorium. And again, I spoke so loudly, or delivered my lines so loudly, that people in the other room, on the other side of the frigging auditorium, could hear me. I was being very loud, which shocked the hell out of my teacher. And I think that's why she made me go with Nick Bottom. And I screwed up on the last night, because I couldn't remember my first frigging line, so... But I got told by several people after there that I and my group, another guy named Damien, he was absolutely hilarious, had basically stolen the show from the main part, which is like the fairies and the love story between all these different people, and Puck and Oberon, and even going all out. There was like a thing that we wanted to add to the play where every time Nick Bottom had to get eccentric, he would jump onto something. So I and a friend had the idea that Nick should have his own box that he just carries into every scene and then places it down so that he can jump onto it when he needs to deliver a point. So, and my other friend had the brilliant idea to write in big red letters on it, "Big Bottom Box." So, say there's a box right here, I would just, I'm in the middle of a line, I would stop. I don't remember any of the lines, I'm sorry. That's basically a Shakespeare play, right? It's I actually hurt my knee on that one.
So it is actually Shakespeare.
It is. It is very much Shakespeare. So yeah, unfortunately, because I work in a kitchen and you only really shout when you're the boss, I don't really get to use that secret weapon much. And I was actually very excited for this so that I could actually use all these different voice techniques that I had worked to get for so long. So thank you.
Guys, keep it going for Damien. I feel like I need my own big bottom box to stand on when I host this show. I just want you guys to know I'm taking, submissions for that if you want to give me that thing. Also, if you work at a call center and you know how to do multiple voices, it becomes really fun. If you're working the night shift, I may know that from experience. And they don't quality all of your calls, so, all right, guys. Our next storyteller was an accidental first-timer when he first came to the show because he thought that there was a musical open mic on Wednesday. But he told a really awesome story, and we're glad to have him back. Put your hands together for Larry Earlywine. Guys, you got to clap the whole time. You got to be enthusiastic about it.
Well, first of all, how's everybody doing? I my secret weapon was the way I looked in my clothes, and I'd try to act like I was important or funny or something, because I did a lot of running all the time, since I was little, and a lot of times I wish I could be invisible and disappear, hitchhiking across the country, and I get picked up by some pretty crazy people, and there's nowhere to run, so I had to act crazy and feel more like, hey, this guy's crazier than me. I'm not going to mess with him. I'm out of the car. And then one time he's grabbing me, and I say, and we're in Louisiana. I said, there's a levee out there and stuff. And he lets me out, and he says, well, you look like a girl, and stuff like that. And I said, oh, I wish I could just disappear. And then sometimes I'd wear clothes to get attention, and people would just think that I was, just out of touch with reality and still being a child, like my wife said. I've never grown up, and I guess I never will. But it's kept me being safe, and I think I would, if I could, I would be like to be, disappear sometime, just for a rest, and I get I started to play music to get attention, and of course they wanted to beat me up, and I played music. Oh, he's a musician, he must be okay, he can play music, he can't play very well, and he sucks, but he's a nice guy, so they leave me alone. Sometimes I play on purpose, so they leave me alone, and I used to get arrested a lot too for civil things in the 60s, no violent crimes, demonstrations, and going to big, and I would act crazy and scared because there's no place to run, and they'd leave me alone and say I think he's crazy because he can't talk, and I'd pretend I was deaf and make those signs like that, so they'd leave me alone. Because they'd always want to cut my hair too, and I said, don't take away my strength. That's the thing I got to keep people away from me, because they're scared of me too sometimes. I'd make faces, and they go, yeah, and I'd look away and act childish, and sometimes and reverse the psychology and make them feel sorry for me too, because a lot of people were violent to me, and even though I'd flash from the peace sign, I'd still get hit in the head with a billy club or sprayed with mace or something, or duck tear gas. But anyway, So I would like to be invisible, and then I could talk to people at a distance and tell them things, and they'd be wondering, well, where's that voice coming from? And I'd see what profiling does. Say, I'm back, and see how it feels, and that's what I'd like to do. And the music was really good. Sometimes I'd carry the case and tell them that I was a set, and I wouldn't even have the instrument in there. I'd just sit there, and they'd say, well, why aren't you playing? I said, well, it's not my turn. But I had a lot of, I did a lot of running, and I was just tired of running all the time with people. I got good at running, and sometimes I couldn't, and I also had to run from, a lot of things, and but we won't go there because it's kind of, it's a wonder sometimes I'm still alive, to tell you the truth, what I did in the 60s and stuff. And being a Vietnam veteran, too, on top of that didn't help me. That was not a disappearing act there at all. I wish I could have really disappeared then. I wish I could have pretended I was dead so they could ship me back, and then I'd pop up in the casket somewhere, and who knows where, and walk away and say, I'm free. I don't have to kill anybody, But anyway, storytelling, I could sit up here all night and tell you all kinds of stories about things, and being a struggling musician too. But anyway, so whatever story you have, I guess it's everything's okay, isn't it? And I'm still trying to figure things out, and I even in college I had to run from girls. I wanted to get an education, and they wanted to marry me, and I had to run away. I had to run away, and I even quit college, and that's how I got drafted. I lost my 2A status, and all because of being afraid of things all the time. But I finally got over my fears as I got older. So the shoe's on the other foot now. I'm pretty scary now. I mean, when, you should see me sometimes when I get mad, boy. Even the dogs around, everything hides. The birds don't even come in my yard. But anyway, so that's about all I have to say. This time, I don't know when the next time I'll be here. I was gigging a lot this last couple of weeks and stuff, and I wasn't able to come down here. Okay. Anyway, everybody hang in there,
Keep it going for Larry. While I'm thinking about it, and while Jessie just reminded me, next week's theme is Sorry, Not Sorry. So be back for that one. We should have some good stories. I'm excited for that one. And then we're winding down to our last couple of storytellers. So let's go ahead and bring up, please help me welcome Raevyn.
Oh my goodness, such enthusiasm. So in keeping with the theme of not only, was it secret weapon? Secret weapon, yeah. I'm like, somebody said superpowers earlier, and I'm like, now I'm thinking superpower, but yeah, anyway. Secret weapon, but also this story comes with a trigger warning. If you are triggered by offended by Catholicism, juvenile delinquency, and the Sunny Slope neighborhood of Phoenix, consider yourself trigger warned. So I grew up in a Catholic family. I'm half Irish, half Mexican, but the Mexican side is the Catholic side, not the Irish side, which is really bizarre. Yeah, right? So I'm so Catholic that my grandfather actually was he's gone now, but was in his life, the deacon of the Sacred Heart Catholic Church in my hometown and baptized all of his grandchildren. We're that family, okay? So that being said, we went to, growing up, we moved, poor, we moved a lot. We finally reached, when I was in, middle school-ish area, kind of settled down in this house in the Sunny Slope neighborhood, near Central and Butler-ish, so a little south between Northern and Dunlap, right when they were starting to